Hi guys, how are you doing? A quick live video. Bene, come and join us. How are you all doing? I didn't advertise this. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I just couldn't resist talking about the wedding. I couldn't resist. So many issues popped up that I feel I should address as a good Christian. So I'm not going to take more than 15 or 20 minutes of your time. And I want that watch. Jigga, how are you doing? Chocolate Cafe, yes, you are the first. How are you all doing? This is the royal wedding issue. First of all, did you guys hear that speech? That bishop, huh, no. You see, it's very rare for black people to have the opportunity to be part of history. And when they do, or when we do, by the way, I'm like Megan, I'm mixed race, so I'm very happy right now. When we do, we need to milk every possible drop of juice out of that opportunity. And I must say, that bishop lectured the queen. Oh, he spoke. It was like I was in my house, but my spirit was on the pulpit. No, no, no. The wedding was out of this world. You see, you guys might think that Harry got married to Meghan. No, the entire world got married today. I see today as a greater step towards ending racism than the combined effort of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. What you saw today, apart from the bishop, did you see the choir? Did you see that guy that was playing the cello? Did you see that choir that sang Stand By Me? Did you see the lead guy that led? Nah, 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 nah. It's greater than anything that could have been done for mankind. I'm looking beyond the wedding and the marriage. I'm looking more at the unity of forces. I'm looking at the opportunity for our children. First, it came with Obama, a black president. Now, a black princess of England. You guys have no idea how powerful this is. And I'm happy. Now, so many issues popped up, so I'm going to deal with a lot of them biblically. I'm going to read through my post. First of all, yesterday we saw the video of Fatoyinbo ushering in the motivational speaker T.D. Jakes. As far as I'm concerned, he's not a pastor. Never heard him preach a Christian sermon ever. All he preaches is you could do it. Your bread, this is your bread. Your bread can. You know what? Let's go to YouTube and let us run a search for T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes sermons. Let's do this together. On YouTube, T.D. Jakes sermons. Let's just look at the titles. Let's look at the first 10 or 20. Jake's, T.D. Jakes' sermons. All right, let me read titles to you. You can see the titles right here. Number 1, it says, Run After Your Destiny. Free Your Mind. Devil's Dry Place, Transform Your Mind, Change Your Circumstance, Understand Yourself, Fear of Losing, Sound of Worship, Living Water, and the Peace.
Emisiune sponsorizată de OMV Max.
Sorry. He also has one on tithing. Then there's a video about the 6 most expensive things T.D. Jakes owns.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Jamila. This Ramadan, you can catch up with me on...
Okay. Now, this motivational speaker comes to Nigeria. Nigeria, by the way, is the country with the highest number of people living in extreme poverty. According to the World Poverty Report, we have more poor people than China. We have more poor people than India. No other country on earth can boast the number of poor people we have. And T.D. Jakes is ushered around in a Bentley and a Rolls Royce. I don't understand that. It doesn't make much sense to me. Anyway, did you see the prince? That is the groom and his brother. Did you see them show up in a bus? Somebody said it's a Benz Printer. Even if it's the flying Benz, a flying Benz and a sitting Rolls Royce are not mates. Rolls Royce no be Benz mate. The 2 princes of England showed up in a bus, more or less, and walked, came down from the bus and walked. They said Harry owns up to 100 charities, and all were invited. Like I said earlier on, I was going to. Now, so let me start addressing all the issues that popped up from the wedding. For those of you who didn't see, this is T.D. Jakes landing. You can see the limousine. He's landing in Abuja. You can see Biodun picking him up, giving him a big hug. They're walking out of the airport. They're walking to a limousine. Oh no, that's a Phantom, a Rolls Royce Phantom. They go in and the Phantom starts to move. And that's the motorcade in the world's poorest country. You can see the Phantom, you can see Bentleys. You see that Bentley? Oh my goodness. It's so annoying when people call me when I'm doing live videos. It's just so irritating. Sorry, guys. I've taken off the call. Did you see? Now, Instagram is not connecting again because of this phone call. Now, somebody said Jesus borrowed money and borrowed okay, sorry. Well, I've reconnected. Sorry, guys, you're back. Sorry, someone tried to Okay, so we're back on Instagram now. Jesus borrowed a donkey, and someone now said, yeah, but they borrowed the Rolls Royce too. Now, a Rolls Royce is not a sign of humility, a donkey is. Yes, there's the argument that donkeys during the time of Jesus were used by princes. Yes, I know. But the donkey used by Jesus was a sign of humility as prophesied in the book of Zechariah 9:9. Let's read Zechariah 9:9 together. Very important. Zechariah 9:9. Rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly, riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. Let's read it in King James. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, upon the colt, the foal of an ass. The New Living Translation, I'm going to read the same version for you, the same part of the Bible for you. Rejoice, O people of Zion. Shout in triumph, O people of Jerusalem. Look, your king is coming to you. He's righteous and victorious. Yet he is humble, riding on a donkey. You see, riding on a donkey for Jesus was not a sign of affluence. It was not a sign of luxury. It was a sign of humility as predicted by the prophet, as written in the scriptures. So you cannot compare Jesus borrowing a donkey to T.D. Jakes borrowing a Rolls Royce. Two different things. Now, another issue that was raised. Someone said, but Daddy Freeze, the Queen came in a Bentley. Princess Meghan came in a Rolls Royce. Why are you so hypocritical? Why are you saying a pastor cannot write the good things while the royalty can write good things? So I said, okay, first of all, let's watch the video of the arrival of the princess and the queen. I have it. It's a 1-minute video. Let's watch it together. You guys see them? You can see that's the Rolls Royce bringing Princess Meghan in. You can see that. Followed by a Range Rover, a Land Rover, and a Range Rover. You can see them. Can you guys all see? Okay, you can see that's the Rolls Royce. The focus is on the Rolls Royce. You guys can see that. Now that's the Queen. The Queen arrived in a Bentley. Okay? Then you can see the Jaguars, the classic Jaguars there. Once again, that's the Rolls Royce. You can see that. You can see children too arriving in Bentleys, Jaguars, and Rolls Royces. How come I don't have a problem with this, but I have a problem with a pastor in Nigeria arriving in a Rolls Royce? Now, let me tell you what my problem is. Rolls Royce, Jaguar, Range Rover, Land Rover, Bentley are all British cars originally produced in Britain. Now, a while back, Volkswagen, the German company, bought Rolls-Royce and Bentley. After a while, ownership of Rolls-Royce was transferred to BMW. BMW till today. That's why in Nigeria you could buy a Rolls-Royce from Coscharis because Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW. Bentley is owned by Volkswagen. Now, Land Rover is another British company. Land Rover and Jaguar 2 is a British company, were bought over by Tata. And that's why you have the JLR, Jaguar Land Rover. These cars are not just cars, they are iconic cars that speak of the British heritage. That is why you'll not see an Audi or a Porsche or a... You see, every country that is a producing... Look at America. Donald Trump goes around in a Cadillac, an American-built car. The German chancellor in a BMW, I think it is. India didn't buy Jaguar. Tata bought Jaguar. Tata is an Indian company. So it owns Jaguar. But of course, the British people still own their own. They still have their own shares. I don't know how much of the shares is left. But Jaguar was originally built in Britain, built for Britain. So there's no way you look at it. Yes, come in. So, we, Nigeria, what car do we have that our pastors are riding in Bentleys and Rolls Royces? Yeah, Tata is an Indian company, I know, but it's, well, we're both right. Somebody said you should be, I'm resting, so I just need 10 more minutes to just deal with all the issues coming up. We have an Innoson. We are not even proud of Innoson. Our pastors cannot even celebrate Innoson. They are celebrating British cars. Why is the king and the queen not arriving in Audi? Why are they not arriving in Mercedes? The Mercedes there was like a bus for everybody to use. Why? I'm asking you. They own Rolls-Royce. The British own the name, the brand Rolls-Royce. The heritage is British. Same thing with Land Rover. Same thing with Jaguar, with Aston Martin, with Lotus, with McLaren. These are all British brands. You'd be amazed. Bentley, Vauxhall. You can't compare yourself to the British. What have we achieved? We had Peugeot producing here in Nigeria. How far did we take it? Ford, Mini. People are just listing British cars. Are these the kind of people you want to be comparing yourself because they are driving Rolls Royce? You want to drive Rolls Royce? You that have, the only thing Nigeria should be advertising is poverty, because we have more poverty than any other country in the world, according to worldpoverty.io. Go and check. Let me check it for you, just in case you don't believe. Worldpoverty.io. We produce keke. Do we even produce the keke? Keke of India. Are we sure we produce keke? We produce tissue paper and toothpick. That's what I think we produce. Somebody say we produce agbo jedi. Even those ones. So let's select. See, India was the highest country before. Let's put Nigeria there. Nigeria. Currently, 83 million people are living in extreme poverty. Let me beam it to you from the other camera so you see the figure clearly. 83 million people are living in extreme poverty. All right, are you guys watching? Now, I'm going to do this same thing for India. Let's put in India. 74. India was ahead of us last year. India had 83, while we had about 82. Now we have 83, India has 74. The target rate for India is 11.3. They are escaping at 44.8, which is like 4 times. If they are escaping at 11.3, can you see how the number is reducing? 3, 2, 1. People are leaving poverty in India. Let's go back to Nigeria. Let's watch Nigeria. 83,635,851. Our target is 12.6. We're escaping at minus 6.3. See, it's gone up to 2. As we're sitting down here, one more person has fallen into extreme poverty. And we're ushering motivational speakers in Rolls Royces and Bentleys. Our population is 196 million. Oh, it's gone to 3 now. Our population is 196 million, and we have 83,635,854. It's gone up to 4. Right now, as we watch, it's gone up to 4, and it's going to go up to 5 as we watch. We're going deeper and deeper into poverty. Can you see 5? Let's try and type in England. Let's see how much poverty England has. Let's check this out. It's still showing Nigeria. Nigeria is still getting poorer. Why is England not showing? Show now. England. I'm not sure they have any statistics for England. Let's put China. All right. Okay, it's resetting now. We might have to type it again. Okay. Let's put China again. Let's try England again. It doesn't have any records for England. Doesn't seem England is a problem country. Let's try China. Let's hope at least we can get some records for China. Below 3%. China's population is what? 1.3 billion. And China has current escape rate is 3. Target escape rate is 0.9. And yet they don't have any poverty. You guys see that? That's China, 1.3 billion people. India again. Let's check out India. India is 1.3 billion people. Let's go back home to Nigeria. 83 billion people out of only 196 million. We have 42.6% of our population living in extreme poverty. India's Buddhist. China's predominantly Buddhist and atheist. They're out of poverty. We are in poverty. So I want every single person who's talking about the royal family of England going around in Rolls Royces and trying to use it to make a case for Pentecostal pulpit bandits going around in luxury cars, please withdraw that statement. It doesn't add up. Now, India is predominantly Hindu, by the way. Sorry, thank you for that. Now, let me go back to the post on this. Another thing I want to encourage our women. You see, I've never really been a guy to talk about, I believe a woman, if she likes, she can cook. If she likes, she cannot cook. It's her, I've done that for a long time, but I think it's high time I actually encourage women to come out and start cooking for their man. They say one of the things that Meghan used to woo Harry, apart from of course being beautiful and all that, was the fact that she cooked one roast chicken for the guy wanted to go, that he proposed. You see the kind of food my woman cooks for me. Let's come back home. Look at Davido, Chef Chi. Davido is crazy over that girl. I think I need to start teaching the Free Nation women to learn how to cook. If you already know how to cook, practice the art of cooking. If you don't, go to catering, because chefs are getting the best men. Chefs are getting the best men. If a chef got Davido, me that I'm sitting here, a chef, Prince Harry, a chef, let's add things up. Oh. Let's stop listening to Chimamanda Adichie. You can write book from here till tomorrow. A man wants to eat. You cannot eat book. Have any of you have tried? I like to have intelligent conversations. I've got beautiful women who are super intelligent on the Free Nation team, and I love them. But when it comes to, like now, there is catfish pepper soup. Just watch this. Amarachi. Just watch. Just in case I lie to you guys. Come. Come to my ear. I want to whisper something to you. Please, go and find out what your mom cooked for my dinner, please. What is it? What is it? Come and say it. What is it?
I think it's catfish.
Raise your voice.
I think it's catfish.
Can you guys hear? Come here, come and talk. Oh yeah, raise your voice.
I think it's catfish pepper soup.
Catfish pepper soup. Okay, thank you very much.
But let me ask her.
Ask her still and come and gist me. As I'm sitting down here, there's the head of a catfish waiting inside a broth of Igbo herbs and spices. Come and say, let them hear. As I'm sitting down here, what is it again?
Catfish pepper soup.
Catfish pepper soup. So as I'm sitting down here, there's the head of a catfish simmering in a broth of Igbo spices cooked by the hands of one of Nigeria's best homegrown chefs. Big shout out to my brother Louis. Louis called me yesterday. He said, I understand why you love your woman. Say, I love her too on your behalf. Say, she cooked Calabar afang exactly like a Calabar woman. Say, I'm Efik. I can attest to this. So I'm just sitting, I don't go to beer parlor, I don't go and hang out with I just sit down in my house in front of my television. She's there beside me rubbing my head. One Budweiser, this new Budweiser that they introduced, man. This thing, man, is just awesome. Who's tried it before? The Nigerian Bud. Oh man, it's good. It will step you down, with some pepper soup spices, the hot pepper soup, the cold Budweiser. Guys, I wish I could invite you all to dinner, but that ain't gonna happen. Female Free Nation members, go and learn how to cook. Male Free Nation members, encourage your woman to learn how to cook. Somebody said only cooked food no go do am. What of bed performance? I cannot even start discussing that with you. That one, me, I give her PhD. PhD. Me, I don't even marry Calabar, I marry Igbo. There is nothing like pervert. Oh. You and your woman, you are doing, which one is pervert? Somebody say man should learn how to cook. Me, I used to say men should cook. But you see, I look at the statistics. Davido, you see the way Davido gave that woman a 45 million naira Porsche. Got her an endorsement deal. Got her 200 and something thousand Instagram followers. Clad her from head to toe in designer. He now wants to die on top of the woman. If a woman can cook, there's something that, look at Megan. Fine. They say she's now releasing her cookery book, that she has her own recipe for everything. She actually taught Harry how to cook. Somebody said, you want to see the name of the bottle? It's Budweiser. It's really nice. One bottle is a small one. I recommend just a small, what's the size? Um, I'm trying to see how many centiliters it is. Don't ever drink and drive. There's a small Budweiser bottle. It goes for about 200 naira for one. Don't drink more than one. If you must drink more than one, do not ever drink more than two. And don't drink and drive. Okay? Don't drink and drive. There's nothing wrong with a Christian drinking alcohol. Jesus drank alcohol. The Bible is clear, they called him a drunkard. And he said it. He said, I eat and I drink. And they call me a glutton and a drunkard. So what is it that he drinks that they call him a drunkard? Is it pepper soup? Can you drink pepper soup and they call you a drunkard? Let's be using our sense. What does the Bible say about deliverance? Not for today. We're talking about royal wedding. Aren't you tired of throwing yourself up and down and beating yourself in deliverance? Today we're talking about a royal wedding. Okay, so I've spoken about the cooking part, because I have to also encourage. Normal, I've never said women should cook. The Free Nation belief system is that we're equal. Men and women are equal. They say I'm not advertising. I enjoyed it. I just had a bottle. It relaxed me and even motivated me to come and teach you people. That's the way to a man's heart. By the time I go and sit down in the parlor, there's another one waiting for me. That one and the pepper soup. I'm going to sleep off in my baby's arms. She's going to cuddle me. So by the time I'm getting tomorrow on the radio, the message will be fire. Anyway, another thing I wanted to raise was a letter someone sent to me. She said, Daddy Freeze, bros, take am easy. I'm all on the support against fraud pastors. But we know that the royal family, how they roll. And besides, that's not a bus. That's a bomb-proof, bulletproof, armor to the teeth, special custom-made Mercedes for the Queen. That bus might even cost more than the Rolls-Royce. That's a lie. It can't cost more than the Rolls-Royce. The Queen's Rolls-Royce. The Queen's Rolls-Royce. It's like saying the Queen's necklace. That's a person. It has no value. You can't value it. The Queen's Rolls-Royce. Mercedes-Benz that 2 years from now they will buy the new model. You want to compare the Rolls-Royce that the Queen has used, the former Queen gave to the other Queen? Please, 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 please. She said that bus might even cost more than the Rolls-Royce, given the amount of customizations. Also, they spent 32 million on the royal wedding, taxpayers' money. That's not exactly humble, is it? And I replied, I say Solomon in the Bible was royalty. He and his crew ate 100 sheep and goats every day, daily. Solomon's table consisted of 30 cows a day. You know, when we kill one cow, we do it once a month to feed 900 people. Solomon kills 30 cows every day, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, January to December. I said, Solomon was not a Christian or a pastor that we should imitate. He was a king. Kings were allowed to live large. Let me read it to you from the Bible. 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 22. The daily food requirement for Solomon's palace were 150 bushels of choice flour, 300 bushels of meal, also 10 oxen from the fattening pen. 10 fat cows, 20 pasture-fed cattle. That's another 20 normal cows, 10 fat cows, 20 normal cows, 100 sheep or goats, as well as deer, gazelle, roe deer, and choice poultry. Choice poultry, according to the time of Jesus or of Solomon, was peacocks, pheasants, and all sorts of delicious fowls. This was every day. If they do a wedding in Nigeria and they kill 30 cows, that wedding, we go hear the story. Am I lying? Solomon ate a wedding every day. That's how they used to abuse the funds for royalty. And God never described Solomon as a glutton. God never described Solomon as greedy. The only problem God had with Solomon was he was bowing to other gods because of the women that he was following. Now, another issue was raised. One guy called Mr. Olu he said, I'm going to show it to you. He said, you know the royals are also feeding on the taxpayers, right? Oh yes, the royals are feeding on the taxpayers' money as ordained by God himself. Let me read it to you. If you go with me to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 10. Now, this happened when the people went to meet Samuel saying they needed a king. Like everybody else had a king, they wanted a king. God wasn't happy because it was like they rejected God. So Samuel went to meet God and he said, look, I'm not happy with God. Said, no worry, give them what they want. So Samuel came back to the people with a message from God to explain to them what it would take for them to have a king. And here's what the Bible says. 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 10. So Samuel told the words of the Lord to the people who were asking a king from him. He said, these will be the ways of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them to his chariots and to be his horsemen and to run before his chariots. He will appoint for himself commanders of thousands, commanders of 50s, and some to plow his ground and reap his harvest. Emphasis on the word his. And to make his implements of war and equipment of his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive orchards and give them to his servants. He will also take a tenth of your grain and of your vineyards. The kings were allowed to live a life of largesse. Pastors were not. What did I say? Pastors were not. Now, the handover of the kings, what the kings were supposed to receive from God, it was never cancelled. There was no part of the Bible where God cancelled what the kings were supposed to receive. Jesus didn't have a business with the kings or with the monarchy or with the politicians or with Herod. His business was with the house of his God. Now, another issue I want to raise. The wedding is a source of tourism. Do you know how many people went to London just to be a part of this festivities? I'm just asking. It's something you have to consider. Now, on a final note, so I can go and eat my catfish pepper soup before it gets cold, I want to implore you all to stand with me. Let us strip the Pentecostal church of the luxury lifestyle they have imbibed for no apparent reason. There's nothing in the Bible they have to back their largesse. I'm going to read a portion of the Bible to you. I'm sure a lot of Free Nation members are familiar with. Waiting for my Bible to load. First Corinthians chapter 4 verse 11. Even now we go hungry and thirsty. We don't have enough clothes to keep warm. We are often beaten and we have no home. I'll read it from the King James. Even to this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked and are buffeted. And we have no certain dwelling place. I'll read it in Greek. I'll read this to you in Greek. It says, Atrites antihoras kai penomen kai disponem kai gymnatonum kai colathitha kai acetonum. What it means is, as far as the present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are poorly clad and buffeted, and we wander homeless. The disciples were wandering homeless. So I do not understand the buffoonery of ushering a pastor around in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. It's a doctrine from the pits of hell, and I and the Free Nation totally stand against it. I'd like to thank every one of you for allowing me to give my perspective of the royal wedding. I wish them well. Some people say they will not last. Let's not pray that they break up. Let's pray that they last. I pray that they last. I pray that they're happy. It's my prayer. You can see, for me to be here, my hair is all scattered. I just got out of the shower. I just had to share this with my people. Guys, let's make Nigeria great again. Look at the love. That pastor, what's his name again? I had to save his name. Oh my goodness, that man was God himself must have told that man what to preach at a time like this. God himself must have told the man what to preach. I'm looking for his name. Bishop. Who knows his name? Anybody there? His name is Bishop Michael Curry. I need Nigerian pastors to start preaching a Bishop Curry message. God bless you, Carol. God bless you, Irene. God bless you, Jigger. God bless you, everyone. He told us, let me play a bit of his message for you so you guys can understand why I'm so keen on it.
Way of unselfish, sacrificial, redemptive love changes lives. Imagine our homes and families when love is the way. Imagine neighborhoods and communities where love is the way. Imagine governments and nations where love is the way. Imagine business and commerce when love is the way. Then no child will go to bed hungry in this world ever again. When love is the way, we will let justice roll down like a mighty stream and righteousness like an ever-flowing brook. When love is the way, poverty will become history. Amen.
Poverty will become history when love is the way. And one of the ways we could show love is through the Free Nation doctrine of sharing. Thank you so much, everyone. That's a Christian message, not what you hear on the pulpits these days. This is Christ. Christ summarized the entire law and all the prophets, everything. He leaned them on two things: love your neighbor as yourself, and love God with all your heart and all your mind and all your souls. God bless you. And remember, not once did he call for offering, not once did he call for tithing. That's not the business of Christianity. Christianity is not in the business of commerce, it's in the business of salvation. Let's keep it that way. God bless you all.